Want some coffee, Ruby?
No, John, thank you.
But you ordering more?
No, fine, thank you.
Leslie, you want some tea or something?
No, I'm fine, thank you. What?
No luck, sorry. Oh, they've got the boats and the divers out looking for her. People on the docks are looking.
Divers? Does this mean that I'm not going to see my sister again?
Come on, honey, take it easy. I think she should go.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. Amy, something very important I'd like you to do for me. Very important, all right?
What?
You go straight home. Be there when Mike gets out of school. Be there for Mike, okay? Please.
I think you should, honey. Really, I think somebody's got to be there when he gets home. We could be here for hours.
Yeah.
Well, would you call me if you're here?
Of course we will.
Come on, Amy, I'll drive you home.
I would rather drive myself. Could I take the car? I mean, in case I
Yes,
needed
you
it
can
to
take
have...
my car, yes.
Once the streets are slippery.
Would you call me?
Yes, of course I will. It's going to be all right, Amy. Don't worry. Yeah.
I think I need a shot of coffee.
Oh, I'll get you some.
I have it, Claudia. Thank you. I think it's a little early to jump conclusions, folks.
I'm trying not to.
Feels better.
Be careful.
Baldwin. Mr. S.
What?
What? She didn't fall off the boat. She never got there.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about? I mean, it's very clear. He put everything back on the boat himself. He's got her. She's with him.
Oh, with him?
He's doing the same thing again, don't you understand? Mr. S. Baldwin, the same guy that tried to do that slimy little game on Thanksgiving, he's done it again.
No, Luke, no.
She's... Scott?
Scott. Dig it. Rick Lesley. Mr. S. Baldwin was on the plane with her. Excuse me? I'm sorry, but I don't have any information.
What about the divers? I hate asking that, even.
Well, I talked to Captain Freeman on the way over here. They haven't found anything, but Leslie, believe me, they're not going to find anything. I hope you're right. I know I'm right, Rick. I know I am. Leslie, as soon as I find Scott, this whole thing is going to be over.
I shouldn't be that sure.
Leslie,
I just think we ought to be at the dock.
I know how you feel, but we're not going to be any good to anyone down there. Here, at least we can help some of the patients.
Look, if you like, why don't I go down there where the divers are? That way, if there's anything you should know, I can come back and tell you.
Would you do that? I think somehow that would really make me feel a little better.
Yes, be very grateful.
Consider it done.
Wait, I've got an idea. Why don't I go down to the diner and get a big container of soup and bring it back? Some hot soup for the divers and the men on the dock? I bet they could use a warm drink.
Be very nice, Heather. I'm sure it's cold enough out there.
Here. Is Luke Spencer around? Excuse me. Luke Spencer.
We heard about Laura Spencer. Is it true she drowned?
go to the diner, get you guys some hot clam chowder. She should be here in a while.
Yeah, my men will really appreciate that, you know. Even with those wetsuits, that water can really chill you right to the bone.
Yeah. Have you guys covered a very big area?
Well, we're working outward from the Titan's hull, but it's pretty slow going, you know. With that depth, you have to use lights, and you only get maybe 3 or 4 feet vision, so nothing so far.
Well, at this point, that's probably pretty good news. Here, let me help you with that.
It's clam chowder, and there's some mugs in there, too.
Yeah. You want this here, Jack, or?
Look, I'll take it over to the truck, and thanks. The guys will really be glad to get this.
What?
Have you ruled out suicide? I mean, did she leave a note?
Our daughter did not take her own life. She is missing, and she left no note.
Look, you guys are making a little too much of this. Laura is in town somewhere. She's liable to walk through the door any minute.
Oh, why do you say that? Have you talked to her?
Well, no, I haven't.
Leslie.
Oh, you're Ruby Anderson, aren't you? We met last summer. Don't you remember? You're close to Luke, aren't you? Tell me, how does he feel about this?
She doesn't want to tell you. Now, look, fellas, I know you've got a story that you want to get. But right now, there is no story. Now, if you'll just leave these people alone, the minute there's any hard news, I'll call a press conference. Fair enough?
Okay. Exclusive.
That's the way you want it. Just leave these people alone. Give us a break. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait right outside.
Fine.
Come on, I'll buy you a drink.
Sounds good.
Heather, is Captain Freeman around?
Oh, he was here just a minute ago. I brought some hot soup for his crew. I think he must have gone back to the equipment truck.
Did he say anything?
I'm sorry, Leslie. There's no news. But he should be back in a minute. I better get this stuff back to Rose. She's at the diner waiting for her.
Fine, thanks for helping out. I'm sure we appreciate it. Divers coming.
Are you stopping diving?
No, ma'am, but we're going to have to quit pretty soon. It's getting pretty dark.
Oh.
You haven't found any trace at all?
No, sir. Not a trace.
Jerry, better refill your tank for another dive, then we're winding up.
Right. In this kind of operation, no news is good news. Hope you understand.
Yes, sweetie, thank you.
He's right, you know. We're going to continue to dive for another half hour or so, but if we haven't found anything by now, I don't think we will.
You know we're hoping.
Yeah, well, it goes along with the job. You try, but you hope you fail. Excuse me.
Thank you. Oh, God. I don't know. I can't even keep my thinking straight anymore. I don't know what I want. I don't want them to find anything. And I do. I want them to find something that will give us a clue. And I keep thinking the dumbest things that don't make any sense whatsoever.
Like what?
Like I was just thinking, it's cold out and it's damp. And I hope she's not out in it. As if that makes any difference.
Are they still diving?
Yeah, Captain Freeman's going to have to call it off fairly soon. Did you find Scotty?
Yeah, I dragged him over to Kelly's to check out his story.
What story?
Well, he claims that the last time he saw Laura was at the airport when she was getting into a cab.
You believe it?
No. Clyde Bingham was there, though, and he called his drivers. He found the man that picked Laura up at the airport. He did indeed bring her to the docks.
You were sure?
And Clyde said he was. Apparently, she even mentioned catching an earlier flight to try and surprise me.
Where'd he drop her? Down at the waterfront?
Well, near the boat. And she was alone.
Well, then Scotty was telling the truth.
Now, Leslie, he was telling the truth about her catching a cab. I wouldn't trust him.
We all have good reason not to trust what Scotty says.
It's not what he says, it's what he does.
Well, I've not scratched him off my list, I'll tell you that much. Say they called off the search?
No, they'll have to in just a few minutes. It's getting too dark, although the surface is even darker, of course.
So what happens tomorrow if they send divers back down? What do we do, just stand here and wait?
Luke, we'll pursue every course besides the police and the harbor patrol, the FBI. In the final analysis, all we can really do is wait.
Hope.
And pray.
That does it. We're packing our gear.
Well, but when it gets light again tomorrow, you're gonna go look again, right?
Frankly, I don't think so.
Why not?
Because I don't think we'd find anything. How far did you boys extend your circle?
About 50 feet out from the hull.
Oh, well, tomorrow you can make it 100 then, right?
Well, you don't understand. You see, the current isn't very strong in this area, and if there were anything down there, it would be within 50 feet. And there's nothing.
You're sure that current wasn't too strong to be able to carry something away further out from the ship?
Doctor, I know that's impossible. And I am ready to state right now that Laura Spencer did not fall into these waters in the last 24 hours. Now, please excuse me, I have to help load.
Sure.
I knew it. I knew she wasn't in the water. The only logical explanation for this whole thing is Baldwin's deranged sense of humor.
Luke, we're all very worried about Laura, but you really think he could do something this way out?
Come on, Rick. The man just said she's not in the water.
Yeah.
What happened to her? What? Was she kidnapped? Did she have an accident? People don't just disappear. The only logical explanation is Scott.
But you said kidnap,
Yeah?
so?
I don't think she'd be kidnapped. Who would be holding her for ransom? We're not wealthy people.
Wait a minute. People have been kidnapped for revenge.
Revenge against whom? For what?
Me, Leslie. Frank Smith. Cassadines. Helena Cassadine knows that I was responsible for her husband's death. What better way to get me and put me through the ringer than kidnap my wife?
Look, I think you're just guessing now.
Well, of course I'm just guessing, but they're not shabby guesses, Rick. The best one still is Scott.
Wait a minute. It's the Cassadines.
Yeah, but, he thinks Scotty's a better...
He said the Cassadines. Don't, I'll lose this.
Okay.
You said Helena Cassadine, and something kind of clicked. The man on your... I remembered. The man on your boat that I thought I had seen before, and I didn't know where I had seen him, and I suddenly remembered where.
You mean Kurt Maxwell?
Whatever. I said to myself, no, that's wrong, him being there, but I didn't know where. I saw him in Greece, at the Cassadine's house in Greece. When I was there trying to see Helena Cassadine, he was the man who came to the door, and he wouldn't let me see her.
Leslie, if you're sure of this, it could mean really more than you know.
I'm absolutely positive. The man I saw on your boat, I saw at the Cassadine's house in Greece.
Damn it! Damn it! I'm running all over here. I heard this guy on the boat. He was doing something really weird. It was like some sort of ritual.
What do you mean, ritual?
I know it sounds really off the wall, but it was like he was, I don't know, he was throwing a curse or something.
Well, they're very hard to believe.
Well, of course you do, Rick. So do I. That's why it didn't occur to me, but we all thought it was too hard to believe that Mikos Cassadine could freeze poor Charles in the middle of August, right?
But he didn't.
Yes, he did. Do you think it's possible that Laura was taken by the Cassadines?